What if the person you loved was hiding a secret so deep it could destroy you? Elijah thought he had found love, stability, a future. But on his wedding night, a simple joke would become a gateway to the unseen. When prayer turns into warfare, when faith unleashes screams from beyond, what do? Flee, stay silent, or fight? What you're about to hear is more than a story, it's a battle between light and darkness, between a pregnant woman, her husband, and an ancient spirit. Stay until the end, every minute brings you closer to a disturbing truth. Sometimes, the danger doesn't come from outside but from the one sleeping beside you. If you love intense, mysterious, and powerful stories, subscribe and like the page. Every click brings us closer, and this is just the beginning. Elijah stood before the mirror, adjusting the crisp collar of his tuxedo. His pulse thrummed with anticipation, not just for the joy of the day but for the enigma that was Clara, his bride-to-be. She was radiant, kind, and fiercely intelligent, her quiet strength grounding his restless spirit. Their bond was the envy of their small town. At the wedding reception, Clara raised her glass for a toast, her voice lilting with humor. One rule for my darling husband, never sing hymns after dusk. The guests roared with laughter, and Elijah grinned, assuming it was one of her playful quirks. That night, in the quiet of their honeymoon suite, Elijah turned to her. What was that about the hymns? Clara's smile was soft, her eyes distant. Just an old family tradition. Singing at night stirs restless spirits. Elijah chuckled. You know I'm a man of faith. Hymns are how I find peace. She pressed a gentle kiss to his cheek. Then sing in your heart, love. Please. Weeks turned into months, and Elijah began to notice a pattern. Every time he sang a hymn after dusk, strange things happened. The first time, Clara pulled him into a sudden embrace, her lips silencing his melody with a whispered, "Let's make our own music tonight." He laughed it off. Another evening, she gasped, clutching her head as if struck by a migraine. Elijah stopped mid-verse, rushing to her side, his hymn forgotten. One night, as he sang softly in their living room, a loud crash echoed from the attic. He bolted upstairs, heart racing, but found nothing, only Clara at the foot of the stairs, her face pale, her blouse damp with sweat. "Elijah, what's wrong?" he asked, voice shaking. She fixed him with a hard stare. "I told you not to sing. I warned you." His soul stirred uneasily, but he couldn't let it go. Elijah confided in his friend Jonah during a weekend visit. "Jonah, it's like something stops me every time I sing. I feel blocked." Jonah frowned. "Does Clara worship with you?" "No," Elijah admitted. "She says she prays privately." Jonah's voice lowered. "Elijah, she might not be who you think." Elijah forced a laugh. "Come on, she's just private." "Private, or hiding something?" Jonah pressed, gripping his shoulder. "Be careful." Elijah brushed it off, but the seed of doubt took root. He loved Clara, but the unease grew like a shadow. One evening, Clara left for a work conference. Alone, Elijah lit a candle and stood in their dining room. Dusk had passed, and he felt compelled to sing. He began with Amazing Grace, his voice soft but steady. As the notes rose, a chill swept through the house. The candle flickered wildly. Then he heard it, a guttural moan from upstairs. He sprinted to their bedroom, where Clara's scarf lay on the bed, untouched. But the moan came again, and he followed it to the closet. Inside, he found nothing but her clothes, yet the air felt thick, oppressive. His heart pounded. He sang louder, and the moan turned into a scream. The closet door slammed shut, trapping him in darkness. He pounded on the wood, shouting prayers until the door swung open. Gasping, he stumbled out, the candle now extinguished. The next night, Clara returned early, claiming she felt ill. As Elijah sang a hymn in the kitchen, she collapsed, her body trembling, foam at the corners of her mouth. "Clara!" he yelled, dialing for help. At the hospital, doctors ran scans and blood tests. "She's stable," the physician said. "All results are normal." Elijah gaped. "Normal?" She was seizing. The doctor shrugged. "Perhaps stress-related. Has she been under pressure?" Back home, Clara was distant, her eyes avoiding his. "What happened?" he begged. She lay still. "You broke the rule, Elijah." "It's just a hymn," he whispered. "It's more than that," she murmured, her voice hollow. Elijah called Jonah. "I sang and she collapsed," he said, voice trembling. Jonah inhaled sharply. Elijah, this is spiritual. You need to watch her closely. That night, Elijah couldn't sleep. Days later, he tried again, singing softly after dusk. A shadow darted across the wall, though no one else was home. His voice faltered. He flipped on the light, crack. The bulb shattered, glass raining down. Clara appeared in the doorway, her face ashen. What have you done? She hissed, her voice unnaturally low. I sang, he said, stepping back. I have every right. Stop this, or it'll destroy me, she shouted. Elijah's heart raced. What are you hiding, Clara? She turned away, trembling. Don't make me choose between you and survival. That night, Elijah's phone rang. It was his mother. Elijah, I dreamed you were trapped in a burning forest, wolves circling you. Stop singing those hymns, she sobbed. Ma, it's just a dream, he said, his voice unsteady. No, son, something's wrong in that house. Keep your songs silent, please. But Elijah couldn't stop. He needed answers. At dusk, he sang again, his voice rising. A sharp pain seared his throat, like swallowing embers. He coughed, and a faint growl, not his own, escaped his lips. He froze, turning to Clara. She stood in the doorway, her eyes glinting silver, her body swaying like a flame. Elijah woke with a jolt, the air heavy, almost suffocating. Clara lay beside him, unmoving. Clara, he whispered. No response. He touched her arm, her skin was ice cold. He shook her, panic rising. Her eyes snapped open, glowing silver for a split second. She sat up, blinking as if nothing happened. What was that? He demanded. I'm fine, she snapped. No, you're not. He fled to the church, seeking Pastor Amos, a wise elder. Elijah spilled everything, the forbidden hymns, Clara's reactions, the growl, her cold skin. Pastor Amos listened, his face grave. You married a shadowbound, he said softly. Elijah's blood chilled. Eh, what? Your hymns are unraveling her veil. She's tied to a spirit of the dusk. If you sing for 21 nights, she'll either be freed or consumed. Elijah's breath caught. Consumed? Amos nodded. Her kind fights to stay hidden. Determined, Elijah sang again that night. A wind roared through the house, rattling windows. The lights flickered. A thud came from the basement. He descended, finding 3 crows perched on the washing machine, their eyes glowing red. One called his name, Elijah. He swung a broom, scattering them, his voice rising in prayer. The next night, ash fell from the ceiling, forming strange symbols. He swept it away, but more appeared. On the 4th night, a wolf's howl echoed outside. He peered through the window to see a massive canine shadow pacing, its eyes locked on him. He clutched a vial of holy water, splashing it at the glass. The shadow dissolved in a wisp of smoke. Clara watched from the stairs, her face unreadable. You're awakening something ancient, she said. I know more than you think, Elijah replied, gripping his Bible. Clara grew frail, her skin paling, her eyes sunken. She barely spoke, avoiding Elijah. On the 9th night, he nearly died. He poured a glass of water Clara had left out, but a bitter scent stopped him. Tipping it into the sink, he saw white powder dissolve, sedatives. You tried to drug me, he confronted her. She stared, silent. Why, Clara? He shouted. You weren't supposed to sing. You were supposed to love me and listen. The next night, Elijah retched, vomiting a gray, foul-smelling mist. He called Pastor Amos, who arrived with a prayer team. After hours of intercession, the mist ceased. Amos took Elijah's hand. Clara wasn't born like others. Her kin pledged her to a dusk spirit in a ritual. Her purpose is to bind a man of faith, his heart, his spirit, his legacy. She was sent to dim your light. Elijah's chest tightened. Why me? Because you shine, Amos said. And shadows crave to snuff out light. Elijah reeled, then noticed something, Clara's subtle fatigue, her frequent nausea. He confronted her gently. Are you pregnant? She paled, nodding. I didn't want to tell you yet. His heart sank. That night, he didn't sing. He lay awake, hand on her belly, whispering, God, what now? At dusk, he sang again, his voice trembling. Clara appeared, her skin shimmering with faint, silvery veins from her neck to her wrists. One more note, she said, her voice a low growl, and you won't sing for me. You'll sing for your grave. Elijah couldn't sleep, the air thick with dread. He thought of Clara's threat, the veins on her skin, their unborn child, the gray mist, Amos's warning. He resolved to fight. At dusk, he knelt, Bible open, holy water in hand. Lord, in Jesus' name, I rebuke every shadow in this house, he sang, his voice soaring. A tempest roared, curtains shredding. The floor quaked. Glass shattered, mirrors cracking. Clara's scream pierced the air, inhuman, anguished. He ran upstairs. She hovered, her body contorted, veins pulsing silver. Stop, she snarled, her voice layered with another. The room warped, and a towering shadow emerged, faceless, with Clara's eyes. You wield light, it growled. Let me take the child. Free Clara. Refuse, and I take the child when I go. Elijah's tears fell, his hand on his heart. Why my child? The child is the bridge. You're the flame. The child is the cost. The house shook. Elijah fell, sobbing. Amos's words echoed, you cannot nurture a shadow seed. Choose, your song or your silence. Elijah stood. I choose God, he whispered. I choose light, he roared. He sang, the walls glowing, the air scorching. Clara shrieked, her body spinning. Light enveloped her. The shadow wailed, crumbling to dust. Clara fell, still. Silence blanketed the house. Elijah ran to Clara. She breathed faintly. He wept, holding her. Her eyes fluttered open, clear, human. Elijah, she croaked. He nodded, overwhelmed. She sobbed. I saw it all. What was I? You were bound, he said. Now you're free. Weeks later, the house was cleansed, prayers filling every corner. Clara fasted, wept, thanked God for Elijah. Their son was born, healthy and strong. He's perfect, the nurse said. Elijah smiled, tears falling as he held his boy. But as the infant opened his eyes, they glinted silver for a moment, then cleared. Elijah froze. Clara gasped. The baby cooed softly. Elijah held him close, whispering, Lord, I brought him here. He believed he'd saved Clara, and no shadow would claim his son. Do you think Elijah made the right choice? Could the child still carry Clara's spirit? Should Elijah and Clara raise her themselves or seek divine help? And you, what would you do if your newborn blinked like a serpent?